Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Jay from Keeping It Real, your arbiter of gaming news and commentary, hitting you off with a studio production video where you know this is your channel, where all gamers' voices are heard. With your boy Jay, always dropping the word. Keeping them other gaming YouTubers like, what you heard? And where you always know, we always keep it all the way real. So what's going on, everybody? I just want to thank you all for checking out my studio production video today. And man, it looks like our good old friend Cliffy B has stepped in it yet again. And it looks like that curse might be coming to full tuition. I'm gonna go ahead and dig into that and tell you what I'm talking about. First of all, I just want to go ahead and give a shout out to my boy Diller. He was and I'm gonna go ahead and link his video in this description. I picked up on it from him, and so I just want to make sure I shot him out on this and give him his props, man, because he did a video. I want you guys to go ahead and check that out if you want to in the description. I'm putting in the description. And yeah, man, this one's gonna be about good old Cliffy B, man. He's at it again. And yeah, man, this is just really some disturbing stuff, man. I'm gonna go ahead and break it down of why, because I'm sure there's other guys that might say, hey, this is not so big of a deal. Cliffy B's, you know, he's one of those wild, crazy, say whatever he wants, straight shooting, attitude and type of guy. So, you know, this is just powerful, of course. But man, I'm gonna break down why that's not necessarily the case, and this is a lot more serious than maybe a lot of other folks will give it credit for. Especially those who are trying to damage control this, man. So this all is starting from, you know, a tweet. No, this stuff was on Twitter. A tweet from Cliffy B. Now, I mean, I'm sure I ain't gotta tell y'all who Cliffy B is, man. You know, he worked with Xbox on the Gears of War games. I'm gonna go through the whole spiel. Y'all see me do videos on this guy before. Of course, his new project right now is Lawbreakers, and that's a game that he's gonna be for a computer, and it's recently gonna be coming out for the PS4 as well. And of course, that rubbed some Xbox guys the wrong way. Now, to be fair to Cliff B, he's had some bad blood with Microsoft back in the day. Now, of course, this was before Phil Spencer was head of Xbox, and that's understandable, man. And that's neither here or there. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this tweet up on the screen here, man, where it's understandable, where he's talking about, man, I got 65 employees, and, you know, he's basically going to go ahead and pick the platform with the biggest install base. So that's understandable too, man. And, you know, look here, what's funny, man, you got Ryan McCaffrey. Now, this is supposed to be an Xbox guy sitting here saying that, you know, most of the whiners wouldn't want to understand reality, and that if he was having limited resources, he would put it on a 60 million owners too. Basically, saying he would put it on a 60 million install base, referring to PlayStation's install base. And the kind of funny thing about that is, man, he's acting as if PlayStation has a huge install base of people who are very driven towards multiplayer games. I mean, you're kidding me, right? I mean, I think it's pretty obviously well known that PlayStation players, the greater majority of PlayStation players are more single player driven. Yeah, they have multiplayer guys that are on PlayStation, of course. But the vast majority of players on PlayStation are more single player driven. And that's a lot of evidence by just how their network is. Their network is not really good. It really needs to improve. It can't hold a candle to Xbox's network and voice chat. It just doesn't, and those are just facts. So and it's not very fast and not very reliable. So it's obvious that PlayStation is not the greatest install base for a multiplayer game. But you know, that's either here or there as well. You know, if he's shooting for a bigger star base, that's perfectly fine. What's funny is that they, you know, the nuances is that, you know, you might want to also too go for a platform that is going to be having the most powerful console, where it could support your PC port with better graphical fidelity and better frame rate consistency. Maybe that's a big factor too with why you would want to maybe what platform you want to put it on. But man, I digress with these guys, man. You know, obviously this was Cliff's decision. Hey, he went with it for what he was looking at the time, because I believe at the time when he made that decision and made that deal, I'm not sure if Xbox X was even announced here or he even personally knew about it. So that is what it is. But, you know, it's funny seeing Ryan jump in there, you know, McCaffrey jump in there, which is supposed to be an Xbox guy, just, you know, trying to back him up. You know, it's just funny. You know, this guy is just the biggest. I don't know how they consider this guy an Xbox guy. Like, you know, he's the one writing these stories. Who's going to need the Xbox X? Well, who is it for? Like, who writes stuff like that? I mean, you know, who's supposedly an Xbox guy? Sure. Anyways, but yeah, man. So, in my opinion, you know, it was one of those things where it would have been nice for him to come out and talk about these things and say why he's doing what he's doing, you know, especially addressing Xbox gamers specifically, and say, hey, well, you know, this is what I'm deciding to do. This is why. No problem with that. But it didn't really turn out that way. And that was really my issue with it personally. But the thing is when it comes to this, man, he says a tweet basically calling other developers. Now he's you know, looking into developing this on the Xbox X, and he's calling other developers full of it on his tweet in regards to the development for the Xbox X. Because it's obviously known there's plenty of developers out right now saying Monolith and Turn 10, the Coalition. There's a whole litany of you know, Arc Revolve that are just coming out and saying, hey man, the Xbox X is just really easy to develop for. You got guys from Respawn talking about, man, we got this thing 6K and we got it running in just a day or two. It's just, you know, that's pretty much publicly known right now how excited the developers are. Now, when it comes to Cliffy B, he's basically calling all those developers liars, saying that they full of it, man. His quote was basically, they're full of it, because for him, it wasn't so easy. And he's just saying, hey, they're full of it. Meanwhile, you have developers that are working on PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds that are talking about they got Xbox X running with 100 players at 30 to 40 FPS. I mean, you know, the disparity between, you know, in just a short time. And that's just 5 guys working on the game. And meanwhile, you got Cliff B saying this stuff. You know, it's like the disparity between that is ridiculous. So which one is the case? You know, is it easy to develop for, or it's very hard to develop for? It seems like there's a lot more developers, actually every developer so far other than you, Cliff, that is stating that it's very easy to work with and it's pretty incredible. But here you are making a statement that all developers are full of crap. Now, my issue with that, especially when you're doing that in a public sense on a tweet, man, is you got to think about what's being said here. If he had an issue with his issue personally with developing for the X in regards to his game, no problem. That's a perfectly fair statement. If he's having personal issues, okay, maybe it's something about your game or something about you personally or your people you have working on it that you're having issues. Nothing's perfect. I get that. But when you make a statement that other people are liars and you have no proof or paperwork on it, I got a problem with that, and I think everybody else will too. And I'm quite sure these other developers will have an issue with that too, where you just straight up call them liars when you just as a statement, as, oh, okay, with no proof, no nothing. You just calling guys liars. So I mean, he's basically insinuating that, or just straight up saying it, not even insinuating that, hey man, what these guys are saying about the X's, they're full of crap, they're liars. And the problem with that is that you can't expect, when you call a person a liar, that they're not gonna defend themselves and come out and say, well, what are you talking about? Hey, here's proof that no, we got these games running up. These are it's confirmed. It's an actual fact. I don't know what you're talking about, man. That the other developers ain't gonna come out and say that, man. And why would you create a situation like that, like where you're the only one guy saying this publicly, and all the other developers are saying, hey, it's easy developer, you're the only one guy. And why would you even do that, man? If you had your own personal opinion about how things was for you, that's fine. But for you to come out and say this about other developers, just call them liars, man, that's just like you're setting up a conflict for no good reason, man, other than just to start what? I'm just trying to understand where is his angle on this, man. And of course my boy Diller pointed out some things about it that the guy is have some issues where he obviously his game is not doing very well, and maybe he doesn't have the resources or the funds to be able to do it, and that has some to do with it. For me personally, man, I just think it comes down to the guy could have some issues where he see his game is not doing very well and he's frustrated about it. Whatever it could be, that's fine. But when you kind of cross the line when you start calling other people liars, man, when you have no proof of paperwork. And that's my issue with this. And that's why for me personally, I feel like, man, I've been saying it, man. I said in my other videos. Now people believe me or not, man, but I said this guy got that Titanfall 2 curse. I said it early on, man. And I don't think it's no secret that his beta numbers were freaking in the dumps. I mean, he wasn't even in the top 50 on Steam, man. So I think it's pretty obvious that his beta, when it comes to the numbers of people playing it, didn't do so well. And when you got guys like from Pretty Good Gaming saying that they tried the beta and they basically played it for 20 minutes and put the controller down, man, that's telling you right there this game ain't so hot. And both of them was saying that, and that was on their, I'm gonna go ahead and link that in the description as well. That was on the Weird Thing About Lawbreakers from Pretty Good Gaming. Both of them had the same response, and that's why I'm putting up gameplay of it. If you've been checking it out, it's just the game, you kind of, if you really pay attention to it. Now, I haven't gotten to play it personally myself, so I'm not going to speak for my own personal opinion in regards to actually playing it, but from the gameplay that you guys can check out, you've been watching the gameplay, from what I've been seeing from the gameplay, I could understand why they priced it at $29 and that it was going to be a free to play. I think this game, I agree that this game should really be a free to play game. It's not nowhere near up to snuff like games like Overwatch. It's nowhere near. I feel like this game could, turn out to just be a fiasco, because just looking at how the gameplay, it just doesn't look. I mean, this mode about a battery, you got to go chase down a battery and go. It's just like very not really innovative. The movement thing is cool, but it's kind of like that's Titanfall 2 did that really well, and they kind of got that space locked down, and the Overwatch space is pretty much locked down. So it's like they kind of is a game that's trying to carve themselves out, but I don't really think they do a good job. If you really pay attention to a lot of the gameplay, it doesn't really look like the different characters really have a actual job that you can really define that, well, the reason why they're there, like, like a tank class or a heal class, doesn't have that type of thing really looking like it's going on. It just seems to be that it's one of those, it's a more generic looking and playing type of game. And you could understand, I understand why, you know, now Cliff B tried to act like, well, he's just making it cheaper because it's a multiplayer only, and that's cool, and that sounds cool and all, but the fact is, come on, let's keep it real. Overwatch, ain't no problem for Overwatch being full price, and it's only, you know, multiplayer. And trust me, people wouldn't have no problem paying full price for that. You know what I mean? Because it's actually a really good game. So if it was a really good game, it really wouldn't matter. If you really think about it, it wouldn't matter if you charge full price for it, because people will get their worth out of it. They will enjoy it, and it will be fun to play, and they will continue to just keep playing it. And it wouldn't matter if it was a $60 game. It really wouldn't matter. So the only reason why you making it really cheaper is because it's not really up to snuff, by comparing it to other first person shooters that are, you know, multiplayer only. It's just not up to snuff. Let's just keep it real. And that's just the facts about the matter, especially when you watch the game and you hear from people who actually play it, and then when you see the beta that it wasn't even in the top 50. So the sad reality is that Cliff B would have really been helped by putting this thing over to Xbox and not really pissing off the Xbox community, and also not really trying to apparently make Xbox look like, oh, it's less than, and these developers are lying. Like, I just think he's shooting himself in the foot here with this type of thing. Like, I just don't really get it. Like, if you really think about it, he could probably be helped as much as possible by putting it on as many platforms as possible, because in my opinion, this game look like it's going to flop. And from all indications, look like it's going to flop. You know, hopefully it does well for him. Who knows? I know I won't be buying it after this. I try to give this guy a benefit of doubt, but after this last thing, I just feel like, you know, calling all developers liars just because they're saying it was easy to develop for, and you are having problems. If you're personally having problems, no, okay, we get it. But call everyone else a liar, you know, to me, that's just gone too far. I was thinking about buying this game. Now I'm not. I'm just not gonna buy it. And from what I can see from it, from you know, even these guys from Pretty Good Gaming, and other YouTubers, and just, you know, other reviews I've seen, and just looking at the gameplay, I'm like, nah, I'll pass. I'm cool on it. So the sad reality is that this guy, even before his game is released, he just, you know, what any credibility he had left, to, you know, from where he was, now was just gone. Like, so I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna reserve judgment until I actually play it, but it looks like I probably won't get around to playing it, because even if it comes to Xbox, I'm not buying it. But it's just really sad, because if there is anything good about this game, a lot of people won't really find out, because how, you know, Cliff is really doing this. I really personally think this guy should get a consultant or get some PR guys and have them talk for him, because he just seems like he just keeps putting his foot in his mouth, man, over and over and over again. And now it's to the point where it's like he's put himself in a situation where, you know, his game is definitely gonna flop. When it comes to Xbox, I don't think a lot of guys on Xbox, I don't hear anything about this game, honestly. I don't see any real buzz about this game. And that was the thing with Pretty Good Gaming. They were like, there's not really a lot of talk about it. And then when it hit the beta, nobody was really playing it. So I don't know, man. I'm not going to speak on all the game. I'm just speaking on only the gameplay I've seen and what I've heard so far. But I think it goes beyond that when you have a developer like Cliff B, who is saying the type of inflammatory and, you know, ridiculous statements like what he's saying, calling people liars. I just think he's just gone too far, in my opinion. So yeah, man, that's my video on this, man. I want you guys to go ahead and hit me in the comment box, see what you think. Do you think Cliff B's gone too far? Or, you know, hey, you know, you think him calling people liars without proof is okay? You guys hit me up, tell me what you think. All right, man, until the next time. This is Jay. I'm always keeping it real, and I'm gone.